Now we're going to turn to the movie that got a 13-minute standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival. Elvis is getting rave reviews. We're joined now from Graceland by Austin Butler, who plays the king of rock and roll, and the one and only Tom Hanks, who plays Colonel Tom Parker. Welcome to you both, guys. We're going to get to the movie in a minute, but tell us where you're coming from.
Perfect.
That worked, right?
Perfect segue. Yeah.
Oh,
we're here as Guns N' Roses said, welcome to the jungle room. Here we are, the original man cave. The original man cave. I don't think that, Elvis Presley was a harbinger of the next thing that every man wanted. TVs in every room and a jungle room man cave. This is the place. It's never fallen into disrepair. It is exactly now as it was the last time Elvis, sat right there at the couch.
Wow. So, Austin, you transformed into the king so well. The hair, the voice, all the moves. How intimidating was it to take it on, though?
It was the most intimidating thing I've ever done. I honestly didn't sleep for about 2 years, and I didn't do anything else for that time. So yeah, that was my life.
That was a pretty honest answer right there.
I want to know what it was like for the two of you. And Tom, I'll start with you. You're there in Graceland. You've got members of the Presley family in attendance, and you're there at the screening. What was that like?
Well, there was a screening the night before, and I think it was the first time an awful lot of people had seen all of us, and I want to certainly include the Presley clan, Priscilla and Lisa Marie, there. Look, you don't want to. They have had the man in their lives represented in so many different ways, from, with the familiarity of a Hershey bar or a Coca-Cola bottle, to ways that I think that really didn't do the man's service or his artistry. And that they've been a part of this movie from the get-go. When was the first time Baz talked to Lisa Marie?
I think it was 5 years ago.
5 years ago. This has been a long haul. And I would be very, very suspect if anybody was going to come to me 5 years ago and says, we want to make the definitive movie about you and your family. I would be waiting to find out if I could trust those people or not. And God bless them, they responded to Baz's artistry. They responded to the incarnation of Elvis by way of this living legend sitting right next to me right now. But and it wasn't just to have them, but also have, look, Memphis is a town unlike many others, and the people here love Memphis, support Memphis, and Elvis Presley is Memphis. You do not want to disappoint these people. And I don't think we did. The screening, I sat in it and saw the movie for the third time because I wanted to see more of what this guy did. It's very, very powerful. And to be here across the street from Graceland and with the Presley family, the building itself, it's an extraordinary moment of authenticity and no small amount of, whew, oh, we got away with that one.
Oh, I tell you right now,
we did exactly what Baz wanted us to do.
You definitely did not disappoint, Tom. And Austin, Baz Luhrmann, he just posted a video of you on set, like of just clowning around and playing around on set during an early screen test. And he revealed that you sang a lot of Elvis's songs yourself. So why was that important for you to use your own singing voice?
It was important because the whole thing was about stripping away the icon of Elvis and getting down to the humanity of him. And that was what was fascinating for me. But music was how he expressed himself. And so what way to connect to his soul more than through trying to do that as authentically as possible. So that was very early on, the very first day that I ever approached it. I said, I don't know how much of it's going to be me, but I want to prepare as though I'm going to do it all. And now I know that all of the 50s in the film is me, and it's so surreal. I gotta pinch myself every day because it feels like a dream. I can't even believe this.
Well, it's not a dream when we have the evidence. Let's give everybody a look.
I wasn't fooling when I told those other kids I was going to buy them a Cadillac one day.
My boy, with me, you'll buy them 2 Cadillacs.
100? 200.
$1 million.
An aeroplane.
A rocket ship. Even not a rocket ship. My mama don't like me to fly.
Well, what about you, Mr. Presley? Are you ready to fly?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. Ready to fly.
Ooh. Tom, what was it about Colonel Tom Parker that drew you to the role?
He was a diabolical genius. Accent on both words. He was diabolical, and he was a genius. You have to. Priscilla herself. We had dinner before we went back and started working on the movie. She said, "You have to understand this about the Colonel. He was a delightful man. He brightened every room he walked into. He took great care of us. He was very polite, very genteel. He never said no. But he was not Elvis's manager. He was Elvis's promoter. There was not enough of an artistic bone. There weren't enough artistic bones in the Colonel's body to, I think, particularly later on in Elvis's career, to see the grander cultural force that Elvis could have been. He was huge. He was iconographic. He was bigger than life. He was a superhero. But there is moments later on in the movie where the society is going through vast cultural shifts and great tragedies. And if the Colonel had truly been a genius and not as much diabolical protecting his interests, Elvis could have been even greater than the sum of his parts.
Wow. And Austin, you obviously play the legend Elvis, but you worked alongside the living legend of Tom Hanks. What was that like?
Hey, they're laughing. Stop laughing. The crew is laughing now.
It's true. I've said this before, but I don't know a time in my life, in the same way as I don't know a time in my life where I didn't know who Elvis was, I don't know a time in my life where I didn't know who Tom was. He feels like a part of my family because of the amount of times I've seen him on my TV from the time I was born. So
VHS tapes.
Yeah, they were all VHS tapes. Yeah, so it was. But I mean, just thinking of the amount of films that I've admired, and he's my hero, and then getting to be in the same room with Tom, and he surpassed any idea that I had.
You know, the COVID protocols kept us apart. We did not get to hang out nearly as, I mean, half of the making a movie is the quality of the hang. And we were always kept separated because of literally the biosecurity requirements of the state of Queensland in Australia. We could not hang out with each other. But there was that one day very early on where we were wearing our civilian clothes, we were able to meet up, and we got to lock eyes for a minute and register the overpowering fear that we were both trying to wrestle with. Look, I mean, in all honesty, if this was the movie called The George Stephanopoulos Story, this man is playing George Stephanopoulos. That's a big responsibility around the set.
That's right.
You know, and I'm just playing man in headset number 3 as opposed to that movie. So he had a lot more pressure on him.
My teenage daughters would be pretty happy with Austin Butler playing George Stephanopoulos. About that.
That's my next.
As Austin's promoter, let's sign that contract right now. We can make this happen.
That's the diabolical side. Thank you both very much. Elvis hits theaters everywhere June 24th. Our primetime special, exclusively Elvis, premieres June 21st at 10 Eastern right here on ABC.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.